The best right back in the Premier League? Well, let me explain. In August, if you told Chelsea fans we'd spend the whole season without Reece James, we'd probably lose our minds. But what we didn't see coming was how good Malo Gusto has been. He's had some unbelievable performances, locking up the best wingers in the league at just 20 years old. He ranks number 1 against other right backs in so many metrics, but now the question stands, can Malo Gusto be the best right back in the Premier League? Now, right back is probably the most stacked position in the league, so it might not be an easy question. To answer it, we have to go all the way back to 2015. Gusto began his career at the 5th tier French side, Bourgoin-Jallieu. After a year, he joined the Lyon Academy in 2016 at the age of 13. After coming up through the reserves and being a key part of Lyon's academy side, who made it to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Youth League, Gusto earned his first professional contract at the end of the 1920 season. That summer, with the departures of Deschilio and Maxwell Cornet, as well as the appointment of Peter Bosz as manager, who's known for the development of Kai Havertz, Matthias de Ligt and Frenkie de Jong, Gusto had a real opportunity to become a key member of the Lyon first team, competing with captain Leo Dubois. After becoming the youngest defender to start a Ligue 1 game for Lyon since 2012, Gusto picked up 29 appearances for Lyon, assisting 4 goals from right back in the 21-22 season. Though, Gusto's big break came the following season. With the departure of Dubois to Galatasaray in the summer, Gusto became the starting right back and had his first major test on September 18, 2022. Lyon faced PSG with Neymar, Mbappe and Messi. Messi scored in 5 minutes and it was looking like a long day for Lyon. Despite this, for the next 85 minutes, they couldn't get past Malo Gusto, who shut out any attack or counter-attack they attempted. The football world started to take notice, with Barcelona, Real Madrid and Man United all linked with a right back. But in the shadows, a certain Todd Boehly acted first. On January 29, 2023, it was announced that Malo Gusto would join Chelsea for €30 million, spending the rest of the season at Lyon. For Malo Gusto, it was time for a new era. Oh yeah, so in his last months at Lyon, he scored an own goal against Marseille and spent the rest of the season injured, but we can forget about that part. There was a lot of skepticism when Gusto joined Chelsea in what looked to be a backup role to Reece James. This tweet sums it up the best. It would appear that Malo Gusto, at an absolutely critical age period for development as a modern fullback, has moved to Chelsea to sit on the bench, whether or not he realised it at the time. And it seemed like it was true. Despite playing a big role in pre-season and specifically shutting out Mitoma against Brighton, as soon as the season started, he was on the bench against Liverpool with Reece James starting as captain. But disaster struck in the 74th minute where Reece James pulled up injured. Chelsea fans were getting scary flashbacks of a 33-year-old Azpilicueta making overlapping runs, but instead Malo Gusto came on to take his place. Though it was a short cameo, Chelsea fans were introduced to the right back who showed maturity beyond his years. His next outing at Stamford Bridge was where he really introduced himself. 2 assists in a 3-0 win made him one of the stars of the game, but that early season form soon petered out. He was red carded against Aston Villa and saw some inconsistent minutes as Reece James returned to fitness and Disasi was preferred at right back. But it all kicks off again at the end of 2023. In a crucial 2-1 win against Palace, Malo Gusto began a counter-attack at right back and assisted Mudryk from left wing. As the new year started, he really found his form, becoming one of the top creators for Chelsea with 8 assists in all competitions. But it's not just that. His defensive discipline has really improved, and he's kept the best wingers in the league quiet. Most fullbacks were shaking at the thought of facing Jeremy Doku, but Gusto kept him quiet all game at the Etihad, and we've seen the same in games against Martinelli, Gordon and Luis Diaz, which brings us to the present day. So the question now stands, can Malo Gusto be the best right back in the Premier League? It depends. Right back is a confusing position in modern football. You've got Alexander-Arnold, who's this inverted, trequartista, 4-6, deep-lying playmaker. And then you've got Kyle Walker, who'll just outrun anybody. You've got players who are basically wingers, and then some out-and-out no-nonsense defenders. I really think Gusto is somewhere in the middle. He's got electric pace and the technical ability to get out of tight spaces, and his clean tackling ability is probably his most underrated trait. 8 assists in all competitions is seriously impressive, and Squawka ranked him number 1 amongst all Premier League right-backs in March, which looked at metrics like big chances created, ground duels, and ball recoveries. And forget the stats, this guy is everywhere. Chelsea players are dropping left and right with injuries, but this guy is always available and never tired. Why I think he'll reach the top is due to his mindset. When he was asked about joining Chelsea, even with a right back as the club's star player and captain, he said this: "I'm not stupid or crazy. We're a big club, there must be good players in each position. The reason I chose Chelsea is because I have a plan." Someone with that kind of mentality always makes it to the top. Now, it's up to Chelsea to make sure he gets there. We've already seen teams double up on the right hand side to stop Gusto and Palmer because our left side is kind of mid. We also need to consider that he's super inexperienced. We're talking about a player who's really only in his 3rd season of professional football. Despite these things, Malo Gusto is churning out some serious performances in his 1st season in the Premier League at just 20 years old. Right now, it looks like the only way is up for Malo Gusto.